How the fuck are you supposed to survive?
Why the fuck am I doing this?
Working for nothing.
People are working 40 plus hours a week, and they still can't afford the basic needs. I mean, life is lifing. Rent, food, gas, and bills keep rising while your paycheck barely moving. So tell me, how are Americans supposed to survive? Check this out.
I'm an American. I live in a 200 square foot flat that has no bedroom. I pay almost $1,800 a month for it now. That's not including utilities. I work full time. I work 10-hour shifts. I work 5 days a week. After I get my paychecks, if I'm to take out rent, utilities, my car payment, which is a 2016 used car, if I take out insurance on the car and medical expenses for my medication, I'm left with about $50 a month to cover for gas, food, and anything else I might need, such as like toilet paper, cleaning supplies, literally anything, except going to a doctor. Like, I haven't seen a doctor outside of my psychiatrist for like 3 years now, because fuck, I can't afford that shit. So needless to say, I'm in debt. I was already in debt, but just in the last year, I've added $10K to my debt because girls gotta eat. When I made a video about this last year, I got a lot of hate for it online, people saying I need to just pick myself up by the bootstraps, that I'm not trying hard enough. But I think people in America now are realizing that, like, yeah, you're one small step from getting to where I am, to homelessness. And more people are living like me every day. Degrees don't matter here. It just matters what kind of family you were born into, I guess. If you have money, you can sit in a bank and make money. But if you're a worker, you're not really a person here. You're just an asset. And where do you go when it's illegal in some states to be homeless? Why are we considered one of the wealthiest nations, and yet we have almost 1 million people on the streets living, and we can't take care of them? Why are we starting wars and sending money to other countries instead of helping the people here? Or even just using that money for good overseas instead of fucking evil? Americans are so used to hearing fake news that most of us probably still aren't aware of how the world actually works or what history it's actually had. And most of us are just trying to get through each day. We want to leave. We want to have a better life. How do you leave when you don't have money? How do you just go to a different country and not just be homeless there? How do you even get there? I'm an American, and I'm just the average American. Don't come at me for the word flat. Granny flat is a thing in the United States.
So apparently nearly half of Americans burn through their paycheck within 48 hours of getting paid. And before people start screaming, stop buying coffee or learn discipline, listen to where the money is actually going. Rent, grocery, gas, utilities, late fees, overdraft fees. Y'all seeing the pattern? Now, this article I read said most people aren't even spending crazy. They're just trying to survive long enough to make it to their next paycheck. And honestly, that's the part don't nobody want to talk about. We have a generation that's working full-time jobs but living in survival mode. You get paid, bills instantly hit, your accounts get drained, then you spend the next 2 weeks waiting for a deposit. That right there is not freedom. That's financial survival. Now, Gen Z and millennials are getting hit the hardest because everything costs more and wages have barely moved. people are wondering why anxiety, depression, and burnout are through the roof. How are people supposed to save money when most of their check already belongs to bills before they even touch it? You're getting paid just to give the money right back. The craziest part is that this article said many people aren't even irresponsible. The timing of the system itself is hurting the people. Bills come whenever they want, and people only get paid every couple of weeks. So a lot of people lives on this constant cycle. Paid, broke, stress, repeat. And a lot of Americans are tired.
How am I working full time and still broke? Like, how am I working this much and still stressed about money? Every time I get paid, it's gone to bills. Like, I knew I couldn't keep going on this way. So I started looking for ways to make money online. I'm still new, I'm still learning, I'm still figuring things out, but I know I cannot stay where I am. Follow me if you're tired of giving all your time to a job and still struggling.
Working a 9 to 5 in 2026, I feel like it's pointless. I'm gonna tell you why. It's because if you're not making $25, $30 an hour, bro, there's no point in you working, bro. You might just quit your job. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. You're not making it by day-to-day life of how people are living around here, bro. Like, you're gonna be struggling paycheck to paycheck. But even minimum wage, even if it's like 24, 25, we still struggling. And it's crazy, bro. Minimum wage is supposed to be the fact to help you live through life without paying your bills, having money to spend and shit. And the system's so messed up is that the point of the fact, minimum wage ain't minimum wage. You gotta be making like $30 to $40. Seems like that's minimum wage nowadays. The minimum wage they put set in stone ain't a minimum wage. You still struggling day by day paycheck, bro. Your job is not giving you $200 a day, bro. Just quit that shit. Cause I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. You not making nothing. Like, this shit crazy. I'd rather be better off quitting my job, making connections and some other shit, like doing social media, putting myself out there, making like $500 to $200 off this little shit right here. Know what I'm saying? It's crazy, bro. Like, I'd rather throw that shit day by day, because at the end of the day, bro, like, shit that used to be $1, $2 a year ago, bro, shit probably like $5 around. And that shit crazy. And then, if you even think about it, you gotta get to work. So now you're driving to work out the week, and you gotta put gas in your car, probably like $50, $60 out of $200 that you made that day. So half of that shit already gone. That full paycheck hit your bank account and you pay your bills, bro. You barely got chunk change left over, bro. That's why minimum wage ain't minimum wage. If you're not making $25 to $30 in this day and age of 2026, bro, I'm gonna tell you quit that shit. Cause at the end of the day, bro, if you move out by your own, bro, you gotta work 2 to 3 jobs just to sustain yourself, just to have a life, bro. And it's crazy. I feel like that's just fucking slavery at this point, bro.
I'm hungry, but I can't afford food. Will you help me? Get a job. Okay, I got a part-time job, but I still can't afford food. Will you help me? Work full-time then. Okay, I found a full-time job, but now I lost my health insurance because I make too much. I still can't afford food. Will you help me? No, stop being lazy and get a better job then. Go to college or something. Okay, I took out loans and I went to college like you said, but now I have a bunch of school loans I have to pay back on top of my health insurance. I still can't afford food. Will you help me? It was your choice to take those loans out. Get a job and pay them off like the rest of us. Okay, I was one of the lucky few to get a job in my field after graduating, but now I have to pay for student loans, my health insurance, I lost my food stamps because I make too much, and they take more money out of my paycheck for taxes. I still can't afford food. Will you help me? No, we won't. Well, on one condition. What condition is that? Pop out a kid. What? You're a single person household. We don't really care about you, but if you have a baby, suddenly we have way more assistance available for you. So you're saying I only deserve food in this country if my body is either A, performing labor, or B, in labor? That's correct. Okay, this system seems really broken. No, it's not broken. It's working exactly how we designed it to.
Congresswoman, what do you make of Donald Trump saying today that he doesn't think about Americans' financial situation? He said in a press conference on the White House lawn today.
I mean, I'm sure he's very focused on his own financial situation and how he's going to enrich himself off of all of these kind of extortionary deals. So I don't see how he has time to think about the financial prospects of the American working class when he's spending all of his time thinking about how to enrich himself.
After I pay my bills, there's nothing left. There's nothing left even before I get paid. Like, I'm already like, okay, I'm about to get paid. But like, what does that matter? Because it's gone even before, like, as soon as it hits my account, it's already gone because I have to pay everything and then I'm still short. No savings, no cushion, no room to breathe. And that scared me. Like, it wasn't until I think my daughter started college that it all just was like, wait a minute, like, what is happening here? You know what I mean? Like, I can't keep living like this. Because what if, like, we have an emergency and something happens? We have no savings. I have no savings. So, like, what happens? You know, that's when I knew, like, I just can't keep living like this. Like, I knew I needed something different. And, like, just, I'm going to give myself a heart attack just by thinking of all the bills, my daughter's tuition, just everything, right? So I just knew I needed something different. Comment extra if you need an extra stream of income. Also, please follow me, ask me questions, send me a DM. I'm here to answer all your questions.
Look, man, it is a fucking shame that you have gotten used to working 40, 50, even 60 hours a week and still being broke. The job you got, right, is not determinant of your life, how it's going to play out. Now, if it's a job that you keep, then you're fucked. If you know that you hate your job, if you know it's a dead-end career, if you know it ain't no more money, if you know it's getting phased out, if you know that you physically might not be able to do the job for too much longer, and you still doing it, it's over with. This is the reality. The average American makes less than $50K a year. And guess what? Salaries for, average jobs, the job that you probably have right now, they're not going up. But you know what is going up? Inflation. Inflation is actually at a 40-year high. So that means rent is high as hell, groceries is high as hell, car payments is high as hell. Everything is expensive. But wages, salaries for unskilled or jobs that are easily replaceable, those wages are not going up, man. The reason you don't feel stable is because the math just isn't right. It's not making sense. Shit is going up, but your paycheck is not. Look, man, it is a fucking shame that you have gotten used to working 40, 50, even 60 hours a week and still being broke. That is a fucking shame. You understand that? That is a shame that you feel okay with breaking your back, busting your ass, being away from your kids, not being able to do the things you want for somebody else, and not having the money to not just not do what you want. You might not be able to do some shit that you need to.
You ever get paid and you have more problems after payday than you had before payday because the math ain't mathing and the paycheck is not enough in order to pay for all of your bills? And even though you made more on this paycheck than you made on your previous paycheck, it is still not enough to get you out of the hole that you're in. So you're going to have to go to work again and probably not eat as much food because you don't have any money for that. And then you won't be able to afford your hotel rooms for this week because you don't have the money, because your check was just, you have other bills to pay for, and again, you don't make as much money. And you were going to be able to get a second job, but then your manager changed all of your hours up, and then possibly could be changed your hours again, and you've been having to deal with your schedule being changed for like 6 weeks plus every week. And so it's been almost impossible for you to be even have a set schedule because of this happening. And even when you were going to get a job, you can't now, because the days that you're supposed to have off are the days you now work, and the days you have off are the days that they don't need people for. So that has kind of completely gotten there. You can't do Uber Eats or DoorDash anymore because your car's not doing so well, and it's not in any kind of condition to do any of those things. You try to do other things in order to make money, but that has actually been costing you money. So now you're in more debt, and you haven't eaten all day, and now my stomach hurts. It's just been one of those days.
Hey, it's time to pay your taxes. Oh, okay. How much do I owe you? What's the total amount? Oh, we're not going to tell you that. Why not? We just don't want to, really, So, you figure it out. But you do know how much I owe you, right? Oh, yeah. Of course we do. But you're not going to tell me. No. 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 You figure that out. But what happens if I pay you the wrong amount? Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Pay every single penny, because if you don't, we'll find you. Where does this money go exactly? Like, what do you guys use this for? You're asking too many questions. So how about we just take you to prison, huh? No. Just take this, okay? It's all I have. Thank you. We're going to bomb a lot of countries with this.
Wait, what?
I mean, education. It's going to go toward education. That's what I meant to say.
Have you really just thought about it for a moment? Just took a minute to think about how hard it is to live in this country. You gotta pay taxes. You gotta buy groceries that are double in price. You gotta pay tolls to drive on the road. You gotta pay a license to have a dog. You gotta pay money to build something on your own property that you're already taxed on. You got to pay school taxes. You got to pay property taxes. You got to pay sales tax. You got to pay income tax. But where's all this money go? Like, I just drove 40 miles to like 4 towns over to drop my car off to be serviced. And every road I drove on was just like driving through downtown Baghdad. Potholes and ruts and washouts and cracks, and just every time I go anywhere, I feel like I'm beating the living shit out of my vehicle. How could every road in every state be so bad? And why are so many people in this country on medication for anxiety and depression and God? And you got to pay these exorbitant copays and monthly payments to have medical insurance, and then car insurance is absolutely ridiculous. You got to pay like $250 a month just to drive a car. And if you want a cell phone now, Verizon and Sprint and all these cellular companies, they got you by the balls because you got to pay $200 to $300 a month to have a cell phone. Then you got to have a tablet and you got to have Wi-Fi. But then if you have Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fi makes you sick. And then NYSEG and National Grid. And the cost of electricity. Some people pay $800 to $1,000 a month. How the hell can you afford that? And when it's all said and done and you're done paying all this shit, you ain't got nothing left. So the weekend comes and you think, oh, I want to enjoy the weekend. You can't enjoy the weekend because you got no money to do anything. You can't go out to dinner. You can't buy new patio furniture. You can't buy a gas grill because you can't afford it. And you can't afford to cook the meat because the meat's too expensive. What the fuck are you supposed to do? How do you find happiness in this world where we live in a free country that's supposed to be free, but nothing's free? Because everything you have, you got to pay 4 times what it's worth. And then what you get is shit. You buy a new car, it breaks down. You buy a new house, there's no quality. You buy food, it's poisonous. What the fuck do you eat anymore? Everywhere you go, you can't get nothing healthy. You ever go to a gas station and try to find something healthy? You got pizza, and you got chips, and you got subs. That's all you can get. You try to eat healthy. You buy fucking produce and you buy meat, and the fucking vegetables and the fruit are sprayed with chemicals, and you got to buy the special wash to wash it off, because if you don't, you're going to get cancer. If you eat boxed cereal, it's full of poison. What the fuck are you supposed to eat? You say eat healthy, buy organic, but it costs twice as much. How the fuck are you supposed to survive? What do you got to do? Work 7 days a week and still be broke? Because if you work 7 days a week, it's not enough money because you still can't save for retirement. And if you get to retirement age and you want to retire, you can't retire because they're trying to take that away. They want to get rid of Social Security and spend all that money. God damn it, it's hard to survive in this country.
Let's talk about something a lot of Americans are feeling right now, but not enough of our leaders are talking about it. A lot of people are working full-time jobs, doing part-time work, DoorDash, Uber, and still feel broke. Almost as if you can do everything you're told to do. Get up, go to work, handle your responsibilities, take care of your family, try to stay out of trouble, and somehow at the end of the month, it still feels like you're barely staying above water. Why? Because the cost of living is rising. Rent is higher, groceries are higher, gas, insurance, childcare, everything has gone up. And for a lot of people, or most people, wages are not matching it. They're not rising fast enough to match the pressure. So you hear some politicians talk about laziness. This is not about people being lazy. It's not about people just making bad decisions. For many Americans, it's about a system where basic survival has become too expensive. And when people feel like they're working hard but not getting ahead, that's when frustration builds. That frustration turns into stress, it turns into anger, it turns into distrust in our leadership, in our institutions and in our future. People don't just want motivation at a rally or something. They want breathing room. They want to feel like if they work, sacrifice, and stay disciplined, there's actually a path forward. That's why economic policy matters, not just slogans or speeches or rallies. Real policy, because a paycheck should feel like some sense of progress, not a recovery. And until more leaders start speaking honestly about that, a lot of Americans are going to keep feeling like they're carrying the country while falling behind.
You're over 50, you're still working full time. After you pay your bills, you're still broke. You're not alone. So I just read somewhere where 50 to 60% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. And now with the cost of living going up, gas prices high, your monthly bills, your mortgage, your rent, your utilities, groceries for the house, it's no wonder we stay broke. If you're new to me, welcome. My name is Manuela, and I lost my corporate job of 20 years at the age of 52. When I came out of that job, I didn't have a savings, retirement, no plan B. I remember sitting there stressed and overwhelmed, not knowing what was going to happen next. You see, I didn't want to go get another job to continue living on that paycheck to paycheck life cycle. I wanted to find a way to replace the income I lost to help my husband with the bills, but I knew there had to be a better way. Instead of looking for more jobs, I went online and I found a blueprint. This blueprint taught me the skills to be able to generate a full-time income with my phone around a couple hours a day. Now I'm making 100% profit from my phone. I don't have a boss. I don't have to clock in and out for a measly paycheck, and I get to spend quality time with my family doing the things I love. Here's what I love most about this is you don't have to bug your family and friends. They don't care anyways. You don't have to have any tech skills, and you're not going to be cold calling a bunch of strangers. Listen, I don't know your situation, but if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, you're done with living paycheck to paycheck, there is a better way. I'd love to share that with you. Comment the word blueprint down below, and I'll send you the step-by-step details.
Out of a $2,500 paycheck, all I got is 95 motherfucking dollars. I know you fucking lying. That is what most Americans are going through these days with these high-ass bills. Follow down this rabbit hole with me real fast and do this math with me, because I know my math is not math, and this shit is not adding up to me. So see if it add up to y'all. Okay, cost of living, $1,100 motherfucking dollars. Boom, motherfuckers need a roof over your head. You're not gonna just not go without a roof. And some motherfuckers pay higher than that. $1,200, $2,000 higher than that. I'm just lucky enough just to pay $1,100. That's high as a giraffe ass in my opinion. Going down the drain. Another $650 motherfucking dollars. Oh shit, that's towards the vehicles I got to get up and go get to this punk ass motherfucking money that I call a paycheck every single fucking day. I need a nice vehicle, then want some shit that's gonna break down on the motherfucking road. Vehicle cost no too goddamn high. Then here come the motherfucking light bill. $350 motherfucking dollars. Fuck! Too damn high. Somebody need to start turning some shit off around this motherfucking house. High as a giraffe hat. That's already most of my damn paycheck gone right there. Now here come another $175 for fucking car insurance. High as a giraffe ass for 2 car insurance. I think that's how much I pay for all of them. But that's another $175. I know I come out of that around that motherfucking time. Just keep on doing your math with me. Now another $80 motherfucking dollars. This is for just miscellaneous and phone bills, okay? That's just my phone bill. I think $80 or some shit. That's how much I pay on that shit. Now here come another for my little apps. Netflix and all that shit. Another $50 motherfucking dollars right there gone down the motherfucking drain. And now after you do all that motherfucking subtracting, how much money I end up with right there? Okay, because last time I checked, that's 95 motherfucking dollars. Out of all that hard ass work I didn't put in, all that time I didn't put in at that funk ass company after paying all these motherfucking bills out of a $2,500 check, $95. It's all I receive. All I got to pay with. And then when I go outside and even wipe my ass or cough wrong, there go that $95 going down the motherfucking drain because I need gas. Whoop-de-doo. And I need something from the motherfucker. I have working for nothing. At this point, that's what you're doing. Working for nothing. Just my opinion, just being honest.
Anybody else wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and instantly think, why the fuck am I doing this? What is the point? Just to go to work, make a couple dollars an hour, and barely still survive? Make it make sense, because it make no sense, honey.
CEOs have finally taken notice of the fact that most Americans are broke. And I mean, that's what happens when you live in a country where the upper class takes advantage of the working class and milks them for every freaking cent they have. And the most annoying thing about it is they only realize that the people in this country are going broke because they are not, raking in the same amount of profits as they once were. It's like a corrupt king who is used to a certain amount of food every night. Like he's used to a feast every night. And then one night he sits down and he notices that feast is not that much of a feast anymore. It's basically just what a normal meal would be. Like that's what's going on with them now. They're used to their gluttonous intakes and they're just used to raking in so much money, and that money is becoming stagnant because there is no more money. They've taken it all. And the people here are not living paycheck to paycheck. They are literally broke. Like by the time they get one paycheck, it's gone, completely gone. It's not stretching to the next paycheck anymore. Like that's below living paycheck to paycheck. And I don't know, are they actually going to do anything now that they realize people are running out of money? I doubt it because they're too greedy, they're too corrupt. I don't know, but the country is going to fall at this rate, and it's kind of hilarious because they're doing it to themselves. I'm just saying.
Kevin Hassett, the director of the National Economic Council, thinks Americans have more money than ever.
And so the consumer is really firing on all cylinders, just like the corporate sector you're seeing in the earnings reports. And they're doing that because they have so much more money in their pockets. In fact, I had the head of one of the big 5 banks in my office yesterday going through the credit card data. And just as Secretary Bessent said, credit card spending is through the roof. They're spending more on gasoline, but they're spending more on everything else too.
If this doesn't illustrate just how out of touch leadership in this country is from the rest of us, those of us living on the ground, the middle and low income families, I don't know what does. Like, I'm going to spell this out for you, Kevin, okay? You're supposed to be the most in touch with the economics of this country. I'm going to spell this out for you. Credit cards getting used doesn't mean we have more money. It means we're using our credit cards because we don't have the money. Because I can tell you this, if I had the money, I wouldn't be using my credit card, would I? No, I wouldn't. But because the wealthy use debt as a tool to get richer and not have to pay taxes while doing it, I guess they think we do the same thing? No, we don't have the money. We don't have the revenue for that, okay? We don't. Most people don't even know how that works. There's probably a whole slew of people watching this video that just went, using debt to make more money. How does that work? Go look it up. It's a fascinating subject, but it is absolutely how the ultra wealthy, the wealthy and the ultra wealthy, it's how they don't pay taxes. It's how they create their net worth. Basically, they have all this stock, right? Or they have assets that they can't use to buy things, right? They've got companies, they've got whatever. And then they go to the bank, they need money, they go to the bank, and they take a loan against that stock or against those assets, and then they use that money from the loan to invest or whatever they do in order to make more money, and then they pay the loan off. but now they've got this capital, and it's just this weird little cycle that they figured out how to do so that they can make as much money as possible without ever paying a dime. And the fact that our leadership thinks that credit card usage means that we have more money, means that they're looking at it through the lens of people that use that system to create wealth. You have to have wealth in some form in order to use that system. Most of us, if we're using our credit card more than we were before, it's because we don't have money. It's because we don't have money. The average American doesn't want debt. They don't want to use their credit card. They don't. That shit is crippling for us. I'm so sick of the incompetency in this administration.
I know this may bother some people, but everybody is not broke in this economy. There are some people that just manage what they have. If they don't have it, they don't go do it. They eat at home every single day. All of their cars are paid for. They do all of the maintenance on their own vehicles and on their own home. They live in regular middle-class neighborhoods, and they're not struggling. If they got to put gas in their cars, they put gas in their cars and they go. I am a recovering alcoholic, which means I used to drink a lot. And by a lot, I mean I would go through about a fifth of Jack or Jim Beam in about every day and a half, 2 days. So I have saved a tremendous amount of money just from stopping drinking. So, I mean, I can buy property with the amount of money that I have saved from me stop drinking. Now, if I still had that alcohol habit in this economy, it could be pretty bad. These things right here, depending on where you buy them from, be $4. You want to get one of these every single day, how much does that cost? More than one of these a day. How much does that cost? Red Bulls, all the energy drinks, cigarettes. Why are you buying it new? I go to pawn shops and I go to places and get broke stuff and fix it all the time. Almost everything in here used to break. Now it's fixed. Go to yard sales. Go to garage sales.
It's hard out here. It's a real struggle. We got to count our pennies. Everything we do, we have to be real careful and very mindful. Thank you for watching Shana Real Talk TV, where we like to keep it real, talk about trending topics, things that are relatable, and what's going on around the world. I appreciate you all. Please hit the like, share, subscribe button, and leave any comment you'd like down below. I appreciate you all. Happy every day.